guys, I know I told you that this week you were going to be seeing what I'm putting in my hospital bag as a first-time mom, but I have had issues with Amazon. Not an Amazon issue, me issue. I am ordering things off of Amazon to put in my hospital bag. Ended up getting a few things that I was like, okay, great. But then the other things I got were the wrong size because I am pregnant, and with my brain, I just automatically went to the size I was before I got pregnant. So I am in bigger sizes now that I'm pregnant. So I had to send a few things back, and I actually reordered them, so they will be here this week. But I wanted to make sure that when I film that vlog for you guys, I have everything that I want to show you and everything ready to go before I do that. So that will be coming hopefully next week, as long as I can get everything that I need this week. And then going into next month, you guys will see the nursery reel. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I've been talking about it for like this last month. But there are a few things that we still have to do to put together to finalize that. So again, I want to make sure everything is put together before I finally show it to you guys. So today we are going to talk about my cats. I want to kind of update you guys on how they are doing health-wise, mainly because this last Tuesday we had another health scare with our cat Ben, and had to take him to the vet to find out what was going on with him. He got diagnosed and is now on medication. So I kind of want to share that with you guys as well, and how we're just doing the best we can to keep both of our cats healthy and living the best life for as long as they are here with us, because we love our animals and we just want to make sure that they are healthy and happy and are living the best life they can live. And whatever we need to do for them, we will do for them to make sure that they continue living the best life. So if you are new here, you might not have been around, at the end of 2023 when Bohannon had his first issues. So we're going to go back through just kind of everything and then share, recently what we have found out for our cat Ben. So I will link all the videos as well in case you are interested in kind of going back and rewatching those. But around Christmas in 2023, I think it was the first year I started Vlogmas. I actually decided to do it that year. We were, getting gifts ready. We were planning our traveling for the Christmas season. We live in Wisconsin. Our families live in Illinois. So we were trying to figure out the schedule around that. And we started to notice with him that he was acting a little bit off. He wasn't really eating as much or drinking as much. And he seemed like he was having issues going to the bathroom. Like he was going into the litter box to go pee, but nothing was coming out. He was shaking really bad. And then we noticed that he was laying down with one of his legs up, kind of just shaking. And there were like little drops of urine coming out. So it was on a Sunday that we kind of started looking stuff up, and it said, sometimes in male cats, generally, more than female cats, they can get like a blockage. So it like blocks them from going to the bathroom. And if you don't get it fixed, it could kill them, because like all of that is just backing up into them. So of course, this happened on a Sunday. We couldn't get into our vet because they were closed. So we ended up calling an emergency vet who, when I called, was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get you in. We're really, really busy. Let me talk to the veterinarian that's, on call right now, and we'll see what we can do. So they ended up getting back to us and saying, we can squeeze you in. Let's go ahead and bring him. So we ended up traveling with him. We got to the vet and they were like, yes, he is blocked. What he had is like I said, in male cats, it's something that happens to them more than females is they form these crystals in their bladder, and over time the crystals get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they block them from going to the bathroom, being able to urinate. And again, if you don't go in and you don't get that fixed, it could kill them. So while he was there, they were able to go in, break down the crystals, able to allow him to relieve that bladder. And, going forward, they said we would have to have him on special food, just kind of watch him, make sure that it's not happening again, because if it happens again, you have to take him in, get unblocked. So we found out that, got that fixed over the next few days. Before Christmas, we're watching him, changed our schedules around for Christmas so we could be here with him more than less. So we did end up traveling for Christmas, but we're only there for, I think, it was either a day or 2 days. One day with Ken's family, one day with my family, but the day I think we were with my family, we didn't stay very long. We wanted to get home to him. So he is actually doing really well. We had taken him to the vet afterwards. They had said that everything was looking good. He was looking healthy. Since we changed his food, we've never had an issue with him and the crystals blocking. It was like it's some type of special food that when it digests, it breaks down the crystals that are in his bladder, so then it doesn't return. So that has been really great. Since, like I said, since then, he has been amazing. We haven't had any issues with him. So overall, health-wise, he's doing really, really great. So, having that happen at the end of 2023, kind of going into the beginning of 2024 was really rough, because you don't want to see your cat in pain or going through something like that, and it made me very upset. But knowing that going into, this year, he's still doing very well makes us very happy. So we went through all of that, got what we needed for him. Again, everything's going well. And then last year in June, I had our first experience with our cat Ben, where he made a weird crying noise, and then he seemed like he was having struggling throwing up, and then after he threw up, he fainted and he wasn't breathing. And it was the most scariest moment of my life. The anxiety, I was in tears. I called Ken at the time. I was like, I don't know what's going on with him. This happened. Called the vet, explained it to them, took him to the vet, and they did the blood test and all these other tests, and they're like, he's fine. He's completely healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. Their thing was to continue to watch him and kind of see what happens and how often it happens, and kind of just keep a record of that. So we were like, okay, fine, that's what we'll do. So he still had these, issues, these fainting spells come up, but within the last 7 months, it has become a monthly regular thing. Like every month around the same date, around like the 8th or 9th of the month, he does this crying noise, and it's almost like he can't get up, like what he's trying to vomit. And it's always so weird, because sometimes it's like a little bit of food, but most of the time it's just liquid. So it's like, why are you struggling? And then right afterwards, he faints. And over the last 2 to 3 months, it's gotten worse, where he again stops breathing, but then he automatically starts shaking and he starts foaming at the mouth. So this last Tuesday, it happened again. Of course, every single time I'm in tears, I'm anxious. It's heartbreaking to see him go through it. So I called Ken. I said he did it again. I called the vet and I said, look, I don't know when the first time was. It was sometime last year. I had brought him in for this issue. It is getting worse. It's happening every month or every 2 to 3 weeks. we have to figure out what is going on with him. So we got in. It was Tuesday it happened. Thursday we got him into the vet. The vet checked him, his weight, his heart. He's completely healthy otherwise. So going back over what we've been experiencing with him and everything, the doctor came in and said that from his conclusion of what is happening, he is having seizures. So we're like, okay, great. What does this mean? So he said it's difficult in cats to really figure out what is going on, mainly because it is very uncommon, and very rare for cats to experience seizures. And we're like, okay. And he said in dogs, it's something that is very common and is very normal. But in cats, it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on. So he said what he thinks is happening is that in his brain, he's getting too many electrons, or like it's sending too much to his brain, and it's causing him to have these seizures. And he said normally in other cats, they just start acting weird and you see that they're a little off. But with him, he is doing this crying noise, which is signaling to us that he knows it's coming on. And then what's happening is he does the cry, he does the throwing up, and then automatically after the throwing up, the seizure happens. So pretty much for us, and him being the unique cat he is signaling to us that the seizure is about to happen, and he knows it's about to happen. He said usually cats don't give you kind of those signals, but with him, he's giving us that signal, hey, here's my cry, here's my vomiting, here's my seizure. So he gave us medication for him, seizure medication to give him twice a day that hopefully will make the seizures happen not so often, or will make the seizures kind of go away. So we have him on the medication right now. Next month, I think it was like 4 weeks after that, which is next month, around the 12th, we bring him back in. They draw some blood and then they take liquid or something out of his liver to make sure that he has the right dosage of medicine. If we need to lower it or up it, then they can decide that, because with whatever is in the liver, we'll let you know if it is working or if it's too low or if it needs to be, raised a little bit higher. So he's getting the right amount. But our goal right now is to just try to have him experience them less, because again, they are terrifying. Now that we know what's happening, we can kind of, we know what it is and how we can go forward. Of course, he said you can either take this medicine and start doing this medicine, or you can spend thousands of dollars on getting MRIs and everything so they can look at the brain and tell you exactly what's going on. But we said, if he's experiencing seizures, that's what you're saying is happening, then we'll put him on this medication. And over time, if the medication does not work, then of course, at some point, if we had to, we would spend the money to figure it out. But right now, we just want to get him on something to make him feel better. And any other day when he doesn't have these seizures, he's perfectly fine. He's a normal cat. It's just this once a month reoccurring thing that he's having seizures. And we're hoping that it just gets better and that he gets better. And again, we just want him to live the best life he can live and be the healthiest he can be. And even though we know it's seizures, I know that when it happens, it's still scary, because of course, with what the vet said and with what we know is that there could be a time where he has a seizure and it knocks him out and he doesn't wake up. And that is my biggest fear, is that he's going to do that and we're going to lose him. So right now we're just doing the best we can with making sure, we can do whatever we can for him while he's here and we can keep him the healthiest we can and do whatever we need to do to make sure he lives the best life. And, having, going through this 2 different things with both of our cats is just like, it's heartbreaking because when you have your pets, you love them and you take care of them. And when things come up and arise that happen to them, it's just scary. And you just want to make sure that you can do everything you can for them so they can live the best life and have the healthiest life. So I kept wanting to do an update on both of them to kind of fill you guys in what was going on. And then again, recently with what happened to him and going to the doctor and kind of figuring it out finally what is happening with him, I wanted to officially share it with you guys now that we have a diagnosis. The first time we took him in, they're like, we don't have enough information. His blood works fine. Everything looks fine. He's healthy. We're not entirely sure, but because this has been happening so often, they're able to kind of pinpoint to say that the fainting spell and the shaking and everything is what happens when you have a seizure. So hopefully we can get it under control, and hopefully they either stop happening so often, like stop happening once a month, or this medicine can kind of just, help get rid of them. That would be the best bet, but you never know. And I am someone who loves my animals. I love my cats. I am a diehard cat mom, and I will continue to do whatever I have to do for them to keep them healthy and so they live the best lives. And I will continue to do that until they are no longer with me, because they are my babies. Of course, I am having a human baby, but they are my babies, and they will continue to be my babies even after we have our first child. We will continue to care for them and take care of them and do the best for them. So I will keep you guys updated along the way on how Ben is doing. Like I said, Bo is doing fine. He's doing great. We haven't had any issues with him. Every time we take him into the vet, he's healthy. He gets his shots. He's doing well. So now with him doing good, our main focus now is on Ben and, taking care of him and making sure that he is doing good and he continues to do good, and figuring out how to keep him doing good for the future. So if you are somebody who has an animal that has experienced anything like this, let me know. It is scary, but again, it makes me kind of happy and a little bit relieved that now we know exactly what is going on with him and we can take the steps towards making it better for him, because I hated being in the dark, not knowing what was happening to him and not knowing how to make it better. So now that we kind of have the diagnosis of seizures and the medication, we can take the steps to make life better for him so we don't have to hopefully go through this every month. Hopefully it's every other month or every 3 months or not at all. That would be the perfect thing, but we will continue to take care of him and give him his medication and keep going forward with it. So I just wanted to share this with you guys in case you were interested and you've been here along the way, all the way back, when it first happened with Bo and you were wondering how they were doing. And if you were here around the time I posted that video about Ben's first experience with it, it's been a lot. Like I said, it's scary and it's heartbreaking, but we are figuring it out and moving forward and doing the best we can for both of them and making sure they have what they need to live, again, the best lives that they can live. So thanks for letting me sit down with you today and do a little bit of a chatty vlog story time about our cats and how they are doing. And again, as this progresses with Ben, I will continue to update you on how he's doing and how the medication is doing and what his future looks like. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys today, and I will talk to you guys again real soon in the next vlog. Bye guys.